Welcome back to my box fan build. This shop is a mess. And if you watched the last video, you might notice that I'm wearing the same clothes. And well, that's because I'm still here. It's Saturday night, and I got a 2-liter of Our Family Diet Cola in me, and I am feeling on top of the world. I'm gonna keep going on my van. All kidding aside though, this last year has been a huge struggle for me to find the time and energy to come and work on this van. I work a full-time job, Monday through Friday, sometimes unexpectedly on nights or weekends too, because I'm always on call. And I'm always working on somebody's car for them. That's just what I have to offer. So, and not to mention this shop is all the way across town, and it's just hard for me to get out here and get set up and film it all and have kind of a game plan and all the materials that I need to accomplish stuff. So I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm here, I'm set up, I'm kind of in the groove and on a roll. So here we go. So in the last video, I built this cabinet. I didn't show it, but I put wood filler everywhere. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna sand it, stain it, poly it, put doors on it, the whole nine. But tonight I'm gonna build this thing back here. So just to make use of this space and give me somewhere to put clothes, most likely, I'm gonna build some sort of cubby that comes out. It may or may not have doors on it to match the other cabinets, but it's going to be pretty much a similar construction. The only thing that sucks about this is I can't really secure it to the ceiling because there's nothing to secure it to. It's just foam and panel right here. Everything's glued. But I'm going to start by cutting a 1x, which is 3/4 by 1 5/8, because I'm ripping them in half, to run along the bottom length of this. Over here there is a wall stud, but it comes way farther out than I plan on building this thing. So I'm just going to try to make it as strong as possible with, you know, glue and nails and stuff. And, you know, it should hold up as long as I don't put too much weight in it. This is a very uneven surface because behind it, if you watched like 2 videos ago, I screwed this sheet of plywood to the metal that's back here, and it's not the straightest, flattest surface. There's like remnants of the roll-up door spring roller that was here that I didn't really spend any time grinding the parts that I had cut off down flat. It's not that bad, it's just, you know, I could have done better with that. If you're building a box fan and trying to do a similar thing like I did, you know, that's something to keep in mind if you want to utilize this space here for a cabinet like I'm trying to do. Put a little more thought into that. 2 videos ago I mentioned I need to have access to right here to run some wires to the back. My plan for that is to basically use a big hole saw and knock like a 2-inch hole into that and cut out the foam till I get to the metal on the other side and mount the things that I need to mount back there, which is a camera primarily, and possibly some off-road lights. Another reason I'm keeping these side areas open to run wires to this back so I can put stuff there. So, alright, I gotta rip down another 1x because I've used up everything that I got. So I'm going to rip it in half to 1 5/8. Where did that go? That was hilarious. I hope you guys saw that. 62. I am going to screw this on, and I don't know if my 2-inch screws are going to go all the way because there's that metal back there, but we shall see. Yeah, these are probably too long. Let's find out. Nope. I'm gonna do 3 more. Yeah, these knots are like just loosey-goosey on this board. All the sap has dried up, you know. Next, I decided earlier that I want to go 8 inches out on it. And that's 3/4, so we're going to put a 7 1/4 inch piece right there. And I'm going to have to do something under here to fill that in. Probably just a little piece of plywood or just some 1x in this opening, but for now I'm going to cut 2 7 1/4 inch pieces to come right off of that. I'm going to measure up off the bed here in a second to figure out how to make this piece straight, because I can't level it that direction. But it's a 7-inch long piece of wood, so it's not, you know, not that critical. Really, if anything, I'll triangulate stuff on the inside, like from here up to the top of it. That might be the way to go, actually, because that will give me the, you know, it'll keep it from sapping, is what I'm saying, basically. Alright, right here we're 39 3/8. So right here we're 39 1/4. So just come up a little bit, just like that. Brad nailer. And also I did realize that 7 1/4 makes this 8 3/4 once I put the front piece on, but I'm okay with that, because that gives me more of this cabinet to secure it to, which makes it stronger. And like I said before, there are no rules when you're converting a U-Haul into an RV. It's like the Wild West. It's lawless. $39 1/4. You know, 1/8 of an inch difference across 6.5 feet of, or, you know, I guess 5.5 feet. It's really not that big of a deal. Next, we are going to cut another 62-ish. We'll see. Might be more, might be less. It's more. 62 1/4. And 3/8. Yeah. Be right back. Nice. Not too bad. Yeah, that's a nice little cubby shelf thingy. It's gonna look good. It's gonna give me storage. I mean, I could even just leave it as a shelf and then triangulate a piece from here up to that. That wouldn't look too bad, actually. Because then it kind of, I see more of the ceiling, which looks decent. But then again, I'll see all my wires and shit, so yeah, we'll box it in. We'll just stick with the plan, I guess. Kind of what I had in mind. I'll make it work. Put just like that. I think once I stain and sand and stain and poly all of this, it's gonna look so good. Now, similar to the way I did this cabinet, I'm going to have the plywood sit a little lower with about a 1/4 inch lip above it, so I can put some carpet squares, like little thin commercial carpet up here. It's just gonna make the ride quieter in general, because I won't hear stuff clattering around in the cabinets. It'll protect my stuff, you know. Up here I'm just planning on putting clothes, but still, it's, you know, it's gonna be a nice way to finish the thing up. On the inside, if it was 62, it is now 60 3/4. So I'm gonna go rip some down to 1 inch and then cut a 60 3/4. And then I'll measure for the front. I'd measure them both right now, but then I'd, you know, get confused and forget what's what. It's just the way I am sometimes. I happen to have a piece of 1x that was the exact perfect length. I love when that happens. It's like a little gift from the universe. All this wood is filthy from being stepped on and kicked around the shop, but anyway, glue it, nail it. And I am going through this wood glue like quick, which is fine. It's like $6, I think, for a thing of wood glue. $6 or $7. Coming right along. I'm going to take another measurement and then I have to rip another board down, which I learned that you can get 3 1-inch pieces from a board minus the saw blade width, so works out pretty well. $61. Yep. Glue it. Gonna nail it from the front, which I think I did on that other cabinet too. You just can't get the nailer, you know, in there. Put one in the middle right away. Make it easier for holding this up. This is a pretty cumbersome air hose that I've got. It's what I use for working on cars. It's normally hooked up to like a impact or something. For a nailer, I have them too. There's like smaller hoses that are coiled up, and I just don't have that with me or care enough to go through the trouble to hook that up, but it is kind of a pain dragging this heavy hose through the van. And I've got a 60-gallon belt-driven compressor here in the shop. Like, it's big enough to paint a car with. I've had it forever, and the plan is to paint this van and then sell it. Now I'm going to cut short little pieces, go in between for a cross brace. I mean, it's such a small little shelf thing that I don't need that many. I put like 5 on this one, but I'll start with the ends and kind of go from there. So that's just under 6 inches, like 15/16, 5 and 7/8, we'll say. And I will make 5 of them. Reminds me of Jenga pieces. I said I wasn't going to make as many as the other one because the other one has 5, and then I said I was going to make 5. Let me clarify. There's 3 in the middle and then the 2 sides. Where on the other one there's 5 in the middle plus 2 sides. So I realized after I said that somebody might be like, what the hell? Dude just said he wasn't going to make as many. I switched to the 2-inch brads for this because I've got the space or the amount of wood to go through. I used to hate the smell of wood glue, but tonight it hasn't bothered me much. Maybe I've just smelled so many worse things over the years since then that it's no longer a concern. This 1-inch piece seems to be wider than those 1-inch pieces. Oh yeah, what is up with that? I need to go remake some pieces here. Good to know. I got this one anyway. Glad I caught that. That would have been an annoying setback as I was installing the plywood and figured it out then. There we go. Much better. Helps to have the right size wood, you know. And we're back. I just grabbed the wrong piece and cut these from it. There's so much crap laying around the shop right now that, you know, it's kind of a mess. With 3, we want to evenly space them. So we have 59.5. So we'll just do 29 3/4 for the center. So I'll put a piece there. And I can't really fit my square in here. I'm just going to eyeball it, honestly. They're such short pieces that I'm sure I can get it close enough. I'll just press it in, press it together. And we'll put a couple brads. And we'll just come off center about, let's say 14, 29.25. So we'll do 14 3/4 or something. 14, sure. Yeah, it's pretty close. 14 5/8. Close enough, you know. It's gonna look good. I'm a right-brained person. I'm left-handed and right-brained, I guess. That's more of an excuse than anything for saying I suck at math, but I'm artistic, you know. Not autistic, artistic. Oop, that moved it way over. Didn't have the best grip on that. There we go. All right. Progress. So, I'm going to cut some 3/8 plywood to go in here for the shelf. That is going to be 60 3/4 by 7 1/4. This shop is such a mess. That's okay. You can't get clean without having a mess first. Yin yang. I got these other earplugs in because the nailer's kind of loud too, and I hate wearing them big dumb earmuffs anyway. These are ones I bought for going to concerts because you can still hear. They block the noise, but not fully, I guess. I'm gonna flip this, get the dust off of it. Should be able to finish building these cabinets with this sheet of 3/8 here. And then down low on the desk and the kitchen cabinets, I will use 1/2" plywood for the front of those. And grab Bob Vila here. I had a lot of comments on tying my cord. I left that clip in that video because it was funny. But yeah, everyone knows how to cord. Yeah, pretty common knowledge. Could almost cut this with the miter saw, but skinny enough. It's not a sliding miter saw though. Does it fit? Yes. Oh, very tightly. What the? Do I even need to glue it? I will. Alright. I don't even know if I can get my nailer up here, honestly. This is kind of a... This might only be glued. Which, you know, that's okay. It's such a tight fit, it ain't like it's gonna go anywhere. But the plywood has, you know, it's warped, so you kind of want the nails to pull that all together. Should have just built the shelf and then screwed it to the van. But it's all custom fit. It's not exactly, you know, no blueprints here. Just barely, I can get them at an angle at least. These, with this being right over where I sleep, you know, if there's something ghetto or ugly about it, every morning I'm gonna wake up and that'll be the first thing I see. And that's pretty strong. I'm gonna close it in, but it looks pretty damn good for what it is already. If I were gonna just leave this a shelf, I would have put like a full width board on the front so it has like a good, you know, lip to it. But it's kind of looking like we're going full cabinet with this piece back here. So, all right, so I just visualized the whole rest of this out in my mind, and there's gonna be 3 openings. Maybe with doors, maybe without. But I'm going to have four vertical supports, one on each side going up and two in the middle going up, one piece along the top, and then there's going to be a piece going to the back, piece going to the back, and then where every vertical support is, there's going to be a piece triangulated from here up to the back. And that's what's going to give it its vertical strength or resistance to downforce, basically. And I think that's going to look pretty good, and, you know, it'll be decently strong. Yeah, I mean, just one vertical support and then two openings would be fine too. But, you know, the more I put, the bigger the van will look, you know. Optical illusion. Alright, so it's going to be pretty much impossible to put my triangulated supports in after I put the front pieces on. I don't really need one over here because I've got this cabinet to support it. So what I need to figure out first is I need to cut pieces for the sides minus the top width. And for the top, I'll just grab this piece here for mock-up because I know this is 1 5/8. But for the top, I don't need to put another piece like I did on that cabinet because there's nothing really to screw to the ceiling, so there's no point. So I'm just going to put this piece here, take a measurement, 5.5. Okay, easy enough. Is it the same over here? No, that is 5 7/8. So I'm going to go cut those two real quick. And then I can figure out what I'm doing over here. Basically, I need to figure out my total length, which is kind of hard to do with the tape measure because, you know, it's not totally flat, but basically like 10 inches or so. Alright, I've got a triangulated piece that'll go right here. I 45'd the ends of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and nail it, glue it and nail it. I should screw it, but I think it's going to be good enough. And I've got this little filler piece for right in front of that because the you know, the plywood sits lower on purpose because of the carpet that I plan on putting there. I'll start with this little piece. This shop is gas heated and everything is like drying really fast, like my glue and that wood filler I put on earlier tonight and stuff, which I guess is a good thing. But outside it's extremely humid. There's like fog in the air and everything. So I'm really hoping when I park the van outside tonight that I don't have any weird issues with stuff like swelling up and getting funny on me, but it should be alright, I suppose. Not gonna worry about it. Come on. There we go. Real weird angle with the gun here. You have to depress the trigger just enough to... There we go. That looks like a friggin' porcupine, but... Okay. You know... attempts were made, you know? Alright, so this is kind of what it's gonna look like on the front. You know, not bad. Now that I got that figured out, I just need to find where I want my two middle supports. Put both of these here. That'll give me my distance between, which is 59. So 59 divided by 3 will be my centers of my center supports. Got it. Alright, that was 19.66666666. So we're going to do 19 and 5/8. So I'll put one there. 19 and 5/8. And we'll put one here. Same. And the distance between those should be somewhat similar. That was 19 and 7/8. Oh boy. Okay. Let's do 19 and 3/4. Let's just add an 1/8. What's that give me? 19 and 1/2. The hell, man. Alright, so we'll just go between those lines that I just made and we'll call that center. So what I'll do now is make some more 45s. I'm there. I'm ready for a shower and a long nap. But I'm gonna finish this back thing tonight. I'm pushing myself to at least get that done. This other cabinet, that'll be tomorrow. 10 and 3/4 is the ticket. I think my saw got out of, need to check the fence on that thing. It seems to be a little crookedy, but those fit really good. I think they're pushing down on this a little now, actually, but that's okay. They fit nice and tight. I'm gonna go ahead, screw and nail them, and cut my top piece and put all that together. Home stretch. Did I say screw and nail them? I'm gonna glue and nail them. You know what I mean. Yeah, this is pretty strong. Alright, now I can cut the top piece. Had to do those first, because there's no way I would have got that in there with the board up here. I barely got them in there without it. Got this piece. It's pretty filthy. Had to rip another one down. This one was pretty dirty. I've only got one of these left, actually. It's I've used up all like 10 of these that I bought, which is good. That's the sign of progress when you're running out of material. Bought it to use it. This is a really ugly piece of wood. Kinda want to use a different one, but yeah, both sides are pretty rough. I don't know. This sucks. Ooh, let me see what else I got. Oh, God. Alright, I ripped my last piece in half, and it's 800% better than that one was. That one was just ugly. See, I can secure this from the back side of the cabinet. That's no problem. I guess I could do some other pieces off of that. That'd be kind of nifty. Then I can just 45 one side and nail the other. That'd be kind of tricky to nail though. So I gotta have stuff in the back to nail these front pieces too. Not that one, but too much sawdust makes me sneeze. I just don't know how I'm gonna nail them, because I can cut 45s and then come across this way, which would work pretty well. 8 and 8. And that's like 8 on the money. Alright, I'm gonna try some funky shit real quick. See if I can make it happen. Alright, so I cut one 45 and then flat, and then if I can go from there to here, like that. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, baby. That's cool. That is custom. Alright, cool. Just gonna have to figure how the hell to nail that on the back. On the front it'll be easy. Sweet. I'm gonna make 2 more of them and just a straight one for over there. Alright, I got 2 45s and a straight piece. One of them's an 1/8 inch shorter for over there. And that's all my top supports for this top piece. Oops. And this is gonna be freaking nice. Hell yes. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and start gluing and nailing all this shit together, because I'm pretty much done now with all of it. Hopefully that's the right length. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is sweet. I am kind of proud of this one. I got 2 more cuts to make after this for the front center pieces. And then we have got us some custom shit, guys. I could put some brads, I suppose, into the ceiling. Wouldn't be the dumbest idea I've ever had. Just some short ones, just to hold them in place, basically. There's no structural support there. But it will keep this particular block of wood, you know, straight. And I can use the lines on the ceiling to straighten it out. Sweet. It's a good way to hold it in place. Yeah, I used like an entire tube of bottle of glue today. I don't think I've ever done that in my life. You know, used an entire bottle of wood glue on one project. Usually the shit sits around in my shop and dries up over the years. And this guy, we're just gonna, it doesn't even really need to, you know, still need to like fill in this area here. I was gonna leave it open, but in the last video when I was doing that, I wasn't thinking about how this is not as deep as this, you know. I thought it was like this whole area was gonna be accessible from this other cabinet, but no big deal. Okay, so for the backs, I'm going to attempt to get some 2-inch brads at an angle. Sorry you're like way back there and can probably not see what I'm doing, but when I'm done, I will show you a close-up this finished product here. It's pretty good. It's coming together, guys. You'll see. You'll see. You'll be like, wow. His commentary made it sound like he's a complete lunatic, but he actually built a pretty nifty little cabinet. Okay. Ow! Ooh. I hear a train out there. It's been kind of slow tonight. That is like train number 3, and it is, I think, 11 or 12, like midnight, and I've been here since like 10 in the morning, so not a lot of trains compared to the average. Sunday evenings and Friday nights usually you get a shitload of them, but okay, I'm going to glue and nail the top. We'll call it the header, and then I'll put the verticals on. Still need to cut 2 of them, and then I'm gonna get wood filler on everything and show you guys the finished product. Then I gotta clean this whole freaking shop. It is a mess. That looks good. Alright, 2. Oh wow. I finally shot enough nails to make the compressor run. It's been like all day. And I changed the end of the air hose. So to do that, I disconnected a 50-foot air hose. So I lost like all of that air as well. That's funny. Like I mentioned, it's a 60-gallon compressor. So. Alright, that is crooked as hell looking. Right there. I mean, yeah, it's a 1/4 inch off. All of it is. Why? So, you know what? I fucked up. Oh, it's because this plywood is crookedy. That's the problem. Damn it. Yeah, it's because this plywood. Fuck. After I screwed or glued and nailed all of that. Okay. I was so proud of this, and then it's okay. It's alright. I need to take all of this back apart and rip these top pieces down 1/4 inch because what I actually mentioned to you earlier is how this plywood back here is crooked as hell because I didn't do a great job. And I failed to calculate the crookediness of it when I cut all of these top pieces that I was so proud of just now. And well, I need to go disassemble all of this and cut them all down 1/4 inch. and then re-glue it, re-nail it. It's alright, these things happen. Alright, I took all of these and I just knocked a 1/4 inch off of all of them. And then that straight one on the left, I just made a new one because it had so much glue and nails in it that, you know, it was not worth it. Now we're going to put them all back on. No big deal. It's okay. I'm actually feeling better. You ever like worked yourself beyond exhaustion? Where you just get to that kind of like it don't hurt no more. Your body gave up on asking you for rest. It just kind of, you're just kind of in survival mode now. I'm being dramatic, I know. So what kind of YouTubes you guys been watching lately? I've been going down this frickin' rabbit hole of ocean liners from the 1800s and early 1900s. Like, you know, the Titanic and shit. But did you know most of the photos of the Titanic are actually of its sister ship, the Olympic? Because they built that one first. And back then, taking photographs was like an extremely difficult and expensive thing to do. So the guy that photographed the Olympic and the Titanic, he only took like a couple pictures of the Titanic, because it essentially looked exactly the same as the Olympic. So why waste his film and shit on that? He literally just scratched out Olympic and wrote Titanic on the photos that he took of it. So like, there's only like a handful, like half a dozen actual photos of the real Titanic. And then there's only one video, like one actual film of the Titanic, and that's when it was already had been launched and it was being moved over to dry dock so that they could outfit it. So the only actual footage of Titanic, it like looks like shit. It's just a hull with no fittings on it or nothing. I gotta grab my rag. And like, as soon as they finished building Titanic, before it even sank, they started working on a bigger, even more badass ocean liner called the Britannic. And it was going to be like the most luxurious, kick-ass one yet. But then World War I got pretty serious. So they gutted all the luxurious interior components that they already installed in it and converted it to a hospital ship. And then a German U-boat fucking fired a torpedo at it and sunk it. And one of the nurses on the Britannic who survived its sinking was also on the Titanic and survived its sinking. Ain't that some shit? I watch a lot of like nerdy educational YouTubes, you know. Oh fuck, that looks way better. If only I had caught that mistake earlier. Oh yeah, that's what we wanted to do. Okay. One of you guys, I don't know if you're watching this video, but you were like literally counting all the times that I burp in my videos, which is funny because I edit a lot of them out. For every one burp you catch, I probably edited like half a dozen out. And shortly after World War I, they stopped building ocean liners because airplanes. Why would you spend an entire week to cross the Atlantic to get to New York when you can just hop on a plane? You know the famous grand staircase of the Titanic? No photo of that really exists. Every photo of the grand staircase you've ever seen was on the Olympics. Home stretch for real this time. That's not all I've been watching on YouTube, though. You know my Oregon Trail video I made a couple months ago? I watched a lot of shit about the westward migration and covered wagons and the shit that they had to go through to survive. I could tell you all about a prairie schooner. Go ahead and blast one into the wall. Why not? A couple of them. If I miss this, it's gonna come right out and look like shit. Damn it. Playing with fire, guys. That's what I get. Oh, man. Oh, come on. Alright, we're just gonna stop while we're ahead. I got 2 more pieces of wood to cut, and I am done with this thing. 5 7/8. 5 7/8. Alright, last pieces. And we've got us an elaborate, funky ass freaking cabinet thingy. Oh yeah, look at that. This one's a little, could be a little longer. What if nope. What if I put this one here? Makes no difference. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go. It's because the ceiling has flex to it. I'm gonna go cut this one tiny little bit longer. I've got just enough nails to finish the job. Alright. Oh yeah. How is that? Big? Can you dig it? Oh god, what was his name? The guy at the end of Thriller. Spooky Halloween dude. Which side looks prettier? They're both kinda naughty. I like them naughty. Pull the safety back. Screw it. I'm not gonna make another OSHA joke. Last time I cut both my thumbs. Boom. We are done. Alright, I'm gonna throw a lot of wood filler on there. And then I'll show you up close.